Hey, it is Brooke from the Junk Parlor. Welcome to my channel. So before we go thrifting in the Des Moines area today, Goodwill, Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, Thrifty Flea Market, all the places that I shop are going to be down in the description box if you want to click down there. So if you're in the Des Moines area, you can go to my favorite places. Before we do that though, I just have to say that my oldest turned 22 this week, and it just makes me feel old. So if you have kids or even just nieces and nephews, I'm sure you can relate that how can he be 22? Because that means that I am really old. So happy birthday, Kellen. Now let's go thrifting. So they're calling this an old wood cigar box. It says Swiss made. It has some really beautiful brass inlay, but you can see there's a couple pieces popped out. This is a cool wine bottle opener with these like wood handles. They have $20 on it. This is a very cool perfume bottle. They've got $10 on it. This one's fuzzy for $6. Sadly, there's only one of these, but super cute for $5. It does have a decent ship right here. This is a cute little size of condiments, and it's $8, and it looks like everything's there, but when you look closely, this one I think was added in. It's not a perfect match, but still pretty good. $15. I think it says Red Mill, maybe. 1987. Shelf caught my eye. I love the drawers. So this looks like from an old desk. Doesn't really match the rest of the shelf to me, but probably some DIY that somebody did and used what they had. They have $15 on it. This horse is beautiful, although it's on some interesting scroll. So this is so interesting to me. It's like Play-Doh, not Play-Doh, but it's made for $3.99. I like it. And then I think this one probably got donated at the same time. Not as much my style, but also debating it. These are like those homemade Christmas tree ornaments. I cannot think what they're called. So tell me down in the comments. Just wanted to check the price on this vase. It's $6.99 and it is a Hager. I know this place does the color discount. I'm not sure what color is on sale today. I think this is a coaster set. Again, it's got some brass inlay and each coaster is different. A different pattern looks like, carved differently. Looks like it's in a little manger to me, but $5.99, and these seem too small for a normal glass. Blow your mind right now. Think, what is this going to cost? It's just a metal crucifix, skinny, hanging on the wall. They have $25.99 on it. Then there's this one, which is kind of like very rough. I mean, Jesus looks terrible. They got $35.99 on it. And this is something new. They have a designated vintage clothing rack. Well, Mom's wanting me to find some more plates that match her set, and they have $12.99 on these. This is what I need. At the antique store, when I was in Chicago, one of those places had one, and it was $8 at the antique store. But I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna pay $8. I'm gonna wait and find them at the thrift store for less. Well, maybe that's not the case. This is pretty cool. It's $14.99. It's some kind of basket. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to pull up. That's what we're doing. It's got a stamp made in Japan. This is pretty cool. I thought these were going to be plaster, and I wasn't really sure if they were old or new. They have $9.99 on them. They are plastic, wrapped around some cardboard, and kind of fragile because that just clipped. And it says something Miller Studio, 1968 maybe. I think these could be fun in the right house. You can see the back of that one's clipped off too. So kind of brittle. What in the world are these? Can you tell? They're like hands on the bottom. $24.99. And then a vase. Hand blown. I mean, kind of cool. $29.99 and $19.99. This is kind of neat, just little like info cards for the garden. They're in this like plastic case that's kind of broken. It says the greenhouse on it for $3.99. Little puff cat for $2.99. Now why? Well, they must have stitched it back up after stuffing it. This wasn't broken. That would have been awesome. This is one of those things that holds your eyeglasses, but there's a big chunk of it broken right there. $2.99. How fun. Some cute, a pair of vintage brown chairs, $30 each at St. Vincent de Paul on 6th. This one is a plaster one. It is a nice big one. She is missing her thumb on this side. They have $20 on it. Buying some brass here. Made in China and $4.99. And I'm dropping some plants. And a strawberry came out of it. Okay, I didn't show you this at the thrift store, but I'm going to show it to you now. I just got a golf club bag for $8.99. It's a Paragon. It doesn't have the little kickstand, but we needed a golf club bag because my oldest got clubs from his probably future father-in-law, and then we didn't have any place to put the old clubs because he needed the bag. So this is going to work very nicely, and it was only $9. So now let's see what I picked up. I also went to Junk Jubilee this week, and that was kind of an unexpected thing. So a girlfriend of mine, I have one graduating from college this year, one graduating from high school this year, and we were going to have a big 2-5 for our high school senior grad party. And I was borrowing that from my girlfriend Dory, who has Junk Refunkery, if you want to go and check her out on Instagram and Facebook. And she was setting up at Junk Jubilee, so I swung by there to see if she remembered, because I personally had forgotten until the last second, because we talked about this months and months and months ago, and she had also forgotten. But while I was there, I did a quick little walk around, and I ended up getting one thing for myself that will go with my collection here in the cabinet. So this is kind of some McCoy pottery, some Shawnee pottery, pitchers, planters, and MJB tins. So the history behind the MJB tins is that my husband's name is Matt, my name is Brooke, and J for Johnson, so Matt Brooke Johnson. My favorite color is green, so it's kind of like one of those things that I absolutely have to collect. I have actually sold quite a few of my MJB tins, so the collection is definitely condensed down. And I thought this was the green that I was hanging on to, but it's not. It's a little bit of a brighter color. Let me show you. So there are quite a few different styles. Like if you've been watching me, then like, maybe a couple watch years ago, there was a small one. I can't remember if it was a pound of coffee. Well, this one is a pound, so it wasn't a pound. It was probably a half a pound because it was probably the half of this size. And it was so cute, and it was just more than I wanted to spend. And in my mind, I was just gonna come back later and negotiate with him on it, and then I forgot. So note to self, don't do that in the future, but maybe he will still have it at the next watch here. We will see. But they're all a little bit different sizes and styles and colors. So I don't know if you can see that the greens are different. The bigger one here is a little bit brighter, and there's even some that are more, I would say, I'm terrible at my aqua turquoise colors, but a little more like bright with bluish color in it. So there is a big variety is what I'm trying to spit out. So to kind of condense my collection, I've just been keeping the really, really dark green ones and then just one of each. So not having multiples of the same like graphics and sizes. But when I saw this one, it's so big and awesome. Dory convinced me that I needed to get it. It's in really good condition. I mean, there's a few scratches on it, but she even had the idea. I was thinking more just stacking it or maybe using it as a trash can, and her idea was to put a plant in it. So we will see what I end up doing with it. Probably what I will end up doing is just sticking it on top of the cabinet for now until I get a wild hair and have an idea of something to do with it. But this will be a keeper. So I went ahead and opened the doors on the cabinet just so you can kind of see in there. I've shared inside of it before. I'm actually probably going to get ready to list the globe collection that I have still up there. Some of them are little money banks, and then there's 3 of them that I bought off of a guy at Watch Your Flea Market, and his wife had passed away, but what she had collected them for was she was wanting to make a snowman out of them. And so they don't have the stand with them. They're literally just the globe. So I have just thrown them in the basket. But I think that I'm going to go ahead and sell those things because I'm doing a group sale April 10th, I think it is, with some girls on Instagram. And I just think that kind of will go with the theme of other stuff that I've piled up for that sale. So I'll probably take those down, stick the MJB up there, but I also grabbed some things that I'm probably going to keep at least for a while, which is kind of one of the things that I tend to do is like I'll keep things for a while, make a collection, display them, and then I'll thin it out or get rid of it entirely, even MJB tins. So this is a McCoy pitcher. It is $10. And just touching it here, there is a little bit of scratching on this section. It's very 3D right here, so there is a nice crevice, but otherwise it is in good shape, but the color schemes will go nicely in the cabinet, so I'll just do a little rearranging and fit that in there. Another little piece that I was thinking would go cute in the cabinet, I'm not really sure if this is a sponge holder like those frogs, and I can't remember, I might still have one frog available on the website, but this one was $4 and I thought, you know, it would look cute in there if I don't sell it. Kind of sticking with green, this little bottle was only $1, probably a pill bottle, although it's kind of a large size. I had never seen a little Santa boot in green, And this one has some like little ticks up here, not totally grooved like for a lid, but it looks like there was probably a lid on it just because of the little, I don't even know what you call it, little like lips on each side. So $5 on this little green boot. And I haven't looked it up to see really what it's worth, but it's probably gonna get stuck on the shelf. So anything that you see today, if it is for sale, it will be over on the website at thejunkparlor.com. So you can go over there and check that out. Then you'll know if I decided to keep or sell those items. Here is a duck planter. I got it for $5. You know, I like ducks and animals and hunting kind of themes, and then the color scheme on it with the blues and the greens, I just really liked it. This isn't marked or anything. He just has another sticker there on the bottom, but $5, so I grabbed that. I probably wouldn't personally put a plant in it. I would just leave it plain. Then we have $5 on this little brass grasshopper. I just thought it was so cute. He does have one of his feelers has broken off, I would say, although it still looks fine. Another brass thing that I got was this hourglass. I really like it. Gary, this is from Thrifty Flea Market, and Gary has been sharing more frequently videos of the new things he gets and is putting out each week. And I thought this was a lot larger from just watching the video. And then when I saw it, it's smaller, but it was $8, so I grabbed it. Another thing that I thought was much bigger was this magnifying glass. And I just really liked how unique it is. He had $10 on it, but it's got the accordion. Let's see if I can even get it. Accordion, so you can adjust it. And I think that's just a neat feature. It is very lightweight, and I really haven't looked around to see if there's any maker's mark on it. Just, you know, at first glance, I'm not seeing anything, but I thought this was cool to set on a book stack. I already have a big starfish, very similar to this one. This one is not in perfect condition. Some of the things are popped off, but it was $5. And I think it will go really well with another one that I have. And I have used these on my fireplace mantle and just tucked them in my champagne buckets and just used them for another like texture detail up there, like mixed in. I took it down, the other one that I had, because I thought, you know, most of my stuff up there is like antlers and horns and nests, and I've got the porcupine quills. And I just felt like, even though the color scheme is right, I just felt like it was a different location, you know, beachy versus a forest. And so I took it down, but I could definitely see in the summer doing a bunch of shells, taking out some of the horns and antlers and kind of swapping things out. So I wanted to grab this since it was a good deal. Sometimes I wonder if I am the only person that likes silver pitchers, because this was at the thrift store for $1.99, which for the thrift store is super cheap, because sometimes I will see these for $15 or $20. But I love the tarnished look. This one has a very unique shape, just kind of how this bottom is so narrow and ribbed. But I think these are great for putting things in. So like feathers or dried eucalyptus, or even setting something on it like a globe. So I just think these are fun to display with. This I need to message. When we live down in Centerville at Rathbun Lake, there is a Louie's Lakeside Grill. And so I'm going to reach out to him and see if he is interested in this Louie sign. If he is not, it'll be over on the website. And then with that sign, I also got this road closed sign. It's only a single side, and it looks like somebody has done it. It's not original or whatever, but still would be fun to put in your man cave or in your garage or something. Now, I'm not sure if this was a good purchase or not, but I saw it on the shelf at Salvation Army, and I just thought it looked so cute and unique.
They had $14.99 on it, so I probably overpaid because when I did a little research on it, this is actually a purse. And so there should be handles coming through this. So it should be, I'm guessing, this woven bamboo. It would have looped on each side. And then how this is latched, I don't know if you're supposed to technically push up, push down, but that's what I do. And so it is actually a purse. It's stamped made in Japan right there. But I was trying to brainstorm, like, even if I don't put handles on it, I still think it would look cute sitting on a shelf. I don't know how you would really use it as a purse anyway, but I'm not stylish, so I'm sure somebody would make it look super cute. But I was trying to brainstorm, like, could I use twine? Could I use some like felt ribbon? Could I use something to make a handle? So still to be determined. I might go ahead and put a handle with it of some sort to list it online, just so it's more obvious that this is actually a purse, because I'm not sure. I mean, I almost thought like fishing basket or something when I saw it. But looking it up, if it had the handles, it is very valuable. I'm just not sure how much not having the original handles knocks the price down. This is a nice painting, obviously newer, and I say that just because of how the back looks, but it was $2.99, so I don't think you can go wrong with that. And I really studied it a whole bunch because a lot of times they can do prints onto canvas and then they staple them on a board, a frame. This one is signed and I've studied it multiple times. There's a lot of creasing or cracking in it where the paint has cracked, and so I am confident that this is actually paint, because sometimes they are really, really good prints, deceptive prints. One of my good customers always loves cow cutting boards, cow things, because so often they're pigs. So I'm gonna reach out to her and see if she wants this. If she doesn't, then I will have it listed on the website. This bottle really caught my eye because it looks like a perfume bottle, which I like. I've about broken it, dropped it a million times, but it has this little top to it, and then the top of the bottle is actually metal, and then it comes out of a metal holder. So this is marked on the bottom, but I think if I remember right, it's just numbers. I couldn't tell. But again, Google image search, these are pretty valuable. And I don't remember if it was actually for perfume or not, but I think it would look really pretty just styled on your vanity or in your bathroom. Now, I could not think of what this is called, but I think this is salt dough, and I didn't look it up, but it's dough of some kind. $3.99, but this one was 50% off. And I just like it. There is a hole here, so I could add like some fishing wire and hang it that way, or I'm fine with just putting a nail here where my finger is and hanging it on the wall. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but I really liked it. I thought that it is well done and creative, and I like different things. When I was at St. Vincent de Paul on the south side, which is it Army Post Road, so not the one that I typically go to on 6th, they had a ton of books marked down to 25 cents each. And this one is green, my favorite color. I don't even remember what it was. Elements of epistemology. Elements of epistemology. All it makes me think of is labor, but I don't think that's what the E word is. And I loved the hand cut pages. So that would look really good on a shelf. I am a texture girl. I also shopped this time at New to You Treasures, I think is what it's technically called. And it is also down there on Army Post Road. I like going there just because it's vendors, and so each booth is completely different. It's some junk and it's some good vintage and antique pieces. It's just really kind of hit and miss. So I consider it more like a flea market store because it's not technically a thrift store. Although a recent blog post that I did, I talked about what the actual definition of thrifting is, and this is thrifting. So yard sales, flea markets, anytime you're getting something used at a discounted price, that is thrifting. So that was a whole debate on social media and on my blog. So this was in a booth, and I thought it was just a very interesting looking. Looks like a cake dome, but there was no base to it. They had $7.99 on it. Again, when I did a little bit of research on a wooden cake dome, it came back that it would have had a plate underneath it. So you know the breadboards that are super popular that have the carving around the edge, but it's smooth on the inside? Some of them are gonna say bread, some of them it's just like a design like this. That is what the base of this looks like. And now I can't remember if they were called cake domes or if it said bread. I'm pretty sure it's cake. But anyway, I'm like, this I think by itself is still gonna be valuable because with both pieces, they were going for quite a bit online. And I might even have something that I could marry with it. So that is just to be determined because I just unpacked it. So I need to kind of look through my stash and see if I have something that would go with it. But even if you don't have the original plate, I think it would still be nice over something. Okay, so those are the goodies that I got this week. Remember, everything that's available is over at my website, thejunkparlor.com. There are literally thousands of products over there, so lots of things that you can go shop. Not only do I do the YouTube videos, but I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and do blogs over on the website at thejunkparlor.com. So be sure to check all of that out if you kind of like what I do and my style. And please know that I appreciate you being here. All right, until next time, thanks for watching.